All right, so we've been learning about adjectives in Spanish. There are three big differences between adjectives in English versus in Spanish. So they are that adjectives in Spanish can change gender, adjectives in Spanish go after the noun, and adjectives in Spanish can be plural. So the first one, they can change gender. If we remember back in the first unit, in Spanish grammar, everything has to match. So the article and the noun must match in number and gender. So this is singular, this is singular. This is plural, this is plural. This is feminine, this is feminine. The same is true for adjectives in Spanish. So if the noun is feminine, like feminine word, chica, the adjective will also be feminine if it can change. And then if the noun is masculine, the adjective must also be. So on your vocab list, here are all the ones that can change ending. That's why they have the comma and the A. So if it's a boy we're describing or a masculine thing, you're going to use artístico. But if it's a feminine thing or if it's a girl, it's going to be artística. Same thing with all of these. Notice they all end in O. So the ones that end in O or A, they're going to change ending depending on the noun they are describing. But all these words on our vocab list, fuerte, impaciente, inteligente, joven, paciente, sociable, notice they don't have anything after them because they will always stay the same. So fuerte is always going to be fuerte, even if it's a strong boy or a strong girl. So this one is the funky one on your list. It's trabajador, which is hardworking. So if you're describing a boy that's hardworking, you're going to say trabajador. But for feminine, you have to add the A, so that's a little different. So it doesn't end in O, but you have to add an A for trabajadora. So the second thing that's weird about Spanish adjectives is they go after the noun. So in Spanish, when you are describing someone or something, the adjective goes afterwards, which sounds kind of funny to us. So in English, I say the red house. In Spanish, it's going to sound like you're saying the house red, la casa roja. So here's an example. The young girl. So the girl goes first, la chica, and then joven. Now you try. So if it's the patient friend, so go look on your list. What is the friend? It's el amigo. And then you're going to put the adjective afterwards. El amigo paciente. Same with this one, the old book. So the book I'm going to start with, el libro, and then viejo goes afterwards. Okay, last thing that's weird is that Spanish adjectives can be plural. So in Spanish, like we talked about earlier, everything matches, so things have to be plural. So this is a review. So in Spanish, like the first unit that we did, we learned how to make words plural. So if a word ends in a vowel like A, E, I, or O, or U, they don't really end in U in Spanish, you're going to add an S. So like the word clase, C-L-A-S-E, ends in a vowel, so you just add an S. Then words that end in a consonant, so all the other letters in the alphabet, like L or R, are very common in Spanish, you're going to add ES. And then words that end in a Z, you're going to take off the Z and add CES, like lápiz, pencil. We learned that one. So in Spanish, when you're describing someone or something that is plural, like classes or chairs or students, the adjective is also going to be plural. It has to match. So the example I first have is the pretty girls. So in English, we only have girls as plural. These words aren't plural, but in Spanish, everything becomes plural. Las chicas bonitas. Okay, so notice again, the adjective goes after the noun, but it has to be all plural. Las chicas bonitas. So here's my adjective and it's plural. The lazy cats. So I'm going to say the cats, los gatos. And then lazy on your notes is perezoso, but it becomes perezosos, plural. Okay, the patient friends. So start with the friends. So it's going to be los amigos. And then pacientes. See, it becomes plural. If we don't say that it's a girl, just assume that the friend or the teacher is going to be a boy. That's why I just assume that it's amigos and not amigas. Okay, now this one, the intelligent students. So again, we don't know if it's boy or girl students, so we're going to assume that it's a mixed group or it's all boys. So we're going to do los estudiantes and then inteligentes. Okay, then we learned about the phrase como es. So this is at the top right of your vocab list. So this is different than the plural stuff. This is to describe what he or she is like. So como es means what is he or she like. So I'm going to reply one of two ways. I could say he is or she is. So that'd be él es or ella es. Okay? So if I'm going to say he is tall, you're going to say él es alto. So let's look through some pictures. This first one, the girl is doing art, so we're going to say she is artistic. So I'm going to say she, ella, and then es is, and then artística, feminine. Okay, this guy, it's an old man, so you're going to say él es viejo. He is old. So notice with el, the word el in Spanish can mean two things. El without an accent mark, el, like el libro means the, but el with an accent mark over the e means he. So you have to be careful with that. Okay, so Abraham Lincoln, we would say él es honesto. He's honest. Okay, this guy, él es alto. Él es perezoso. He looks kind of lazy. He could also be disorganized. Él es desordenado. She is strong. Ella es fuerte. Okay, this guy is also lazy. Él es perezoso. Do you get the trend? Great. Él es joven. He is young. Or él es inteligente. So that's how we do those.